Hi, so another unboxing video. Seems to be, this is my new in thing, probably because I've been a bit slack with working on some of my rods and so forth. But this is another reel from AliExpress. Previously I did a review of the Kast King Sharky 3 4000. This time I've got something which some people claim as being the sort of primary competition alternative to the Kast Kings, and it's made by a company which is called Tsurinoya, and they've got a number of models, and the one that cropped up quite a lot from some various sort of online forums, Facebook groups and so forth, is one that's called a Jaguar. And I've been sort of in the market to get myself a pair of new reels for, I'm going to call it my mainstream sort of course fishing. I've been using a pair of Shimano's, and they're probably 25 years older. They're a little bit worn, and actually one of the problems I've got is I'm struggling to find spare spools for them, and I've cracked one of them, my own fault, but I've cracked one, so I was just looking into alternatives. Anyhow, Kast King, bought that, reviewed it, absolutely nothing wrong with it, but just really for the hell of it, I thought I'm going to try one of these Tsurinoya Jaguars. It arrived today, or yesterday actually. I didn't open it yesterday, sorry, arrived yesterday. I think this took about 3 weeks, 2 weeks to arrive, maybe 2 weeks. That's pretty good. I actually did same as when I did the Kast King. I asked them for a second additional spare spool, although interestingly this one already comes with what they call a shallow spool, and I actually asked for an additional deep spool, so hopefully it's in the box. We will see. So what do we have? Another box, not quite as flashy as the Kast King box, but another box. A couple of little soft plastic lures to use if I want to, so that's okay. And some kind of pamphlet talking about Facebook and so forth. This one I ordered is the 3000 size, so size smaller than the 4000 Kast King. The spec is advertised as 9.1 bearings, so that would be 9 bearings in the shell, and then the 1 or plus 1 is usually the bearing set which is in the roller, the line roller. And the ratio is going to be 5.2 to 1, which I think is identical to the Kast King, and carbon drag, and that's supposed to be rated at 6 kilos, so I think that might be slightly less. I can't really remember. Not important for me actually, because I generally don't use a drag, but anyhow, tilt this down a bit, hopefully that's a bit better so you can look at me. Sorry, not look at me. This is the box. Opening it up. Well, we did get the extra spool, so that's great. So 2 spools. Handle, nice sort of velour bag. Nice is also in the box. I've also got some instructions in Chinese and a schematic which is also in Chinese, so if I ever need to do anything on there, that's going to mean a few challenges to get that translated, so but that's okay. A couple of washers, I'm guessing that's for the adjustment of the line lay, but the fact that they include that is an indicator that they probably a bit of quality. Right, so this is a 3000 size reel, and actually, you know, that's what it looks like. So for a 3000 size reel, is it big, is it small? We'll have a look in a second. Let's just quickly see if I can get the handle on. Right, so very similar to the Kast King. It does feel like it's a real quality reel, anti-reverse is on the bottom, and it feels a very solid reel. So if I compare this, I've still got this Shimano, I've had it up here for ages. So this is a Shimano KastKing, this is a 3000 size reel. So size wise, very, very similar. Of course, for some the measurement of the size is going to be the capacity of the spools. So this is the deeper one, so it says on here, so what do we have here? So we've got millimeters to meters, so 0.235 is 240 meters. I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you. I tend to still think in the actual break and strain weight rather than the diameter when I've got reel lines. This is the lower capacity spool, so one came with the reel. I asked for one more. So there's the two. So they've all been kind of drilled out, all moulded with this honeycomb, which I guess is to help with the weight, but pretty impressed with it. And this is my 4000 KastKing. I just got it to hand, and if you sort of put them side by side, you can see that there's a difference between the 4000 and the 3000. But interestingly, when I compared it with the Shimano, you know, I've heard stories, in fact I've sort of experienced buying reels from AliExpress that sometimes they're slightly smaller. This is not really the case. Yeah, they're pretty much the same as the mid-range but more expensive Shimano. So yeah, it feels really, really smooth. You know, there's no play in the gears when I sort of trying to sort of to and fro the mechanism with the handle. Put it on anti-reverse. It's locked. Quite a solid opening bale. I think I would say probably a KastKing's feels just feels more of a solid. Not that there's anything wrong with this. I'm being really kind of, you know, comparing one with the other. Manual. I never actually use the mechanism. I always close manually. For those of us that like to float fish, so if I was to, I haven't got particularly big hands, but can reach the spool easily, so it's very easy to control line coming off if you're float fishing down a river. It's a nice size. So overall, I think it's a pretty good buy. So I'm going to load it up with some line, use it, and sort of make a decision if I buy a second one, and then if I do, if that then becomes the pair of them become the replacement to my Shimanos.